leave me alone. I'm eating my sandwich.
That's why Zoomer's up. Owen's eating his sandwich.
Let's play music.
Christmas music.
It's not, though.
No, it's not. Oh, that's right. That's true.
He's playing a game.
What?
I was so confused.
Alright. So we're in Texas.
Back in Central Time, too.
Yeah, that just happened for some of us. I don't know. It's kind of sad I feel like we're losing time. It was fun to be behind schedule. Behind most of the country. I don't know.
Yeah, so if you felt like your day was running out of time, you're like, well, it's 10 o'clock at night where we're from, so.
Still lots of time.
Yeah.
We got lots of land to cover in Texas. From where we entered in El Paso to, I don't even know if it's completely across the state, Beaumont was 895 miles.
Yeah.
I think I looked up one time that it was 3 Wisconsins could fit into Texas. I don't know. That would have to be verified. But Texas is not the largest state. The largest state is
Alaska.
just looks like it because maps are usually not correctly represented. So the new thing here in Texas is very few states are allowed to triple tow, where you have your car and then you can have a trailer or towing whatever, and then you can have something else. And so in some states you could actually do like Jason's has the truck towing the RV, and then he could also tow a car. Very few states. Texas is obviously one of them. And we've been seeing a lot of 3-tow cars, literally cars. It'll be a car or a truck towing a car, towing another car. We've seen a lot of them. We haven't, however, seen as many Amazon trucks today as we did last week. That was a pretty high number at 30 something.
Yeah, it was.
Did see an Amazon warehouse though. So,
I mean, we've still seen more Amazon trucks than I think we do usually.
true story. True. I don't even know if we're in double digits though today.
No, probably not.
Do we usually get into double digits?
No.
No, we usually see only 4 or 5, but last time we saw literally 30 or something.
We did have another interesting experience. We just stopped at a rest area, and the bathrooms were literally outside. So they had half walls, walls you couldn't see over, but then everything was airy and outside. So that wouldn't work very well in the Midwest. Obviously,
Also,
it doesn't get too cold.
There wasn't dividers between the urinals. There was no one else in there, but just
Oh, see,
dividers
I
between
don't
the
have
urinals.
experience with that. I would appreciate a divider, I'm sure. The doors in the ladies' bathroom, is this appropriate? Is this inappropriate?
Oh no, Owen started it.
The doors on this last one were really low, so you were standing up, you could see around everything. But, okay, since we're on the topic, remember all those restrooms? There's been many in different states, but I haven't really experienced them prior to this trip. The toilet seats are so low,
Oh yeah.
low to the ground.
Haven't experienced that yet. I've experienced that at least 20
And then
times.
some of the doors, the
Don't
space
go
up
that low.
the doors don't go that low. So some
Yeah, our
things are
bathroom didn't.
messed up. Well, they gotta change their tire. Looks like he knows what he's doing. Well, there's another car. There's lots of cars parked on the side of the road that who knows how long they've been sitting there in Texas. That was the first part of Arizona too. Lots of cars, blowout tires, run out of gas. I don't know, the speed limit here is
80 miles per hour.
80, so I suppose people don't have good tires, or if they get too hot, there they go. Texas license plates are also simple. Slightly boring, though we've really been contemplating Wisconsin's license plates. a lot because they're kind of boring as well. But compared to New Mexico, where there was bright yellow with the, I don't know what that symbol is, with their state flag thing.
Yeah, it's just their state. I like the blue version of that. There was a yellow version of that, and
It was like a turquoise.
yeah, it's like turquoise.
And then they also had black ones with hot peppers, and that even those had like red in it. They were all very colorful in New Mexico. Oh, we saw, not New Mexico, but we waved
Oh, at Mexico.
Mexico. We drove through El Paso. You're in El Paso here, and Mexico is literally right there. I mean, there's a fence. That's it. And Mexico was right there. And their world on that side was so much more colorful. Their houses are kind of, it was a hilly area, so their houses were staggered in the hills. And they were vibrantly painted in purples and oranges and yellows, and it was cool.
It was cool. It was really funny to look over there, and there was blue and yellow and green and purple and pink, and then you'd look back over at El Paso, and it was just like brown.
I imagine they keep their colors muted for sun purposes.
Maybe we were kind of in an industrial area of El Paso too, so that's part of it. But
It's very, very busy. We're curious if like there's anybody that like works in the U.S. and then goes to Mexico or vice versa, lives and works in one country or the other, you know, because the border's literally right there. Speaking of reflecting, we went to the White Sands National Park. That was cool. That was
It
really
was
cool.
like snow, but at the same time it wasn't. Also, it didn't stick to you like normal sand.
yeah, it didn't stick. That was
Like, at
super
all.
nice.
I wonder if that was the moisture content, or so it actually didn't take long to like dig down, like just bury your feet in. We were barefoot all day. It's like being at the beach with no water. But it didn't take very long to dig down into the sand, and it was pretty cold because the white reflects, so it doesn't soak up any of the
When I got
sun.
covered, it actually made my arms go numb.
Oh, because it was cold?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like painful. It wasn't like weird, like you know you're numb from like the cold, but it was just slowly, and eventually you're just numb.
So that was cool. Had we been closer, that was like an hour out of where we were staying, I would have gone back there. I don't, like, if that was the only thing you were going to do in that corner of New Mexico, I don't know that I would drive that far for it, but being there was really cool. If you are just going to drive through White Sands National Park, and it's like an 8-mile drive, that would, unless you're driving by, that would not be worth going out of your way if you were only going to drive through it. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, it's
you're like
definitely
looking at hills of white. It would be like looking at snow hills.
I like the track.
Also, if you plan on sandboarding or sand sledding,
Was another king get that? That's tow car.
No.
No.
they give you plastic sleds. They don't work.
Yeah, they do. I got them to work several times. Maybe it's
The
just
wooden
me.
ones in that they rented in Oregon.
Whatever.
Worked a lot better. Even though they had the wax the other day, and the campground had plastic sleds for us to borrow, and they waxed them all down, but they just didn't go.
Speaking of the campground, that was a really nice
That was a
campground.
That's a big sailboat.
I just don't know what you
Why?
Whatever.
Why did you like campground?
It was just nice. They put a lot of work into it, and they had Christmas decorations out.
Believe
Lots
this.
of Christmas decorations.
Inside the park, I don't think there was goat heads. There was no goat heads in the park.
At the campground?
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Which I think they are aware of. Because I asked about them, and they're like, we put a lot of weed mat down, and then there's gravel on top of it. It wasn't a very big park, but it allowed for a lot of RVs to stay there. as a KOA, we're learning that KOAs tend to be our favorite places to stay. The view, we can talk about the view in a second, and then also mention the...
They gave us free pastries.
Do you want to... Okay, she's going to talk about the view and the journey part, how it like transitioned every night. And do you want to comment more on the pastries?
Okay.
Okay, so the view was absolutely gorgeous. We had the city of Las Cruces as our like backyard. It was like, but we were up and the city was still a couple miles away, so you could just see all the lights from the city at night. It was so cool. It was just like glitter almost.
It was sparkled like glitter.
It was so cool.
We weren't even up that high.
No, we really
seemed like it.
Yeah.
You could see everything. You couldn't tell what anything was. You were far enough away, but all you could see was the lights.
And also there are some really cool mountains. I think the big ones that were really cool were called the Yūgen Mountains. Those were cool.
I think you're right.
And then it was a KOA journey, which means it's off of major U.S. highways and interstates. And so that typically means that those campgrounds are more of a place to just pull off and stay for the night instead of actually staying in the area to do things.
Because there's KOA journey.
Yeah, there's KOA journey, KOA holiday, and KOA resort. And so the holidays are more like, you're going somewhere to do stuff, and then the resorts are like the KOA's kind of the destination. So they have a bunch of fancy stuff there. But so yeah, we've stayed at we've never stayed at a resort. We've stayed at holidays and journeys.
There's not actually too many resorts.
But yeah, people were coming and going every single night. Like I think there was like 3 of us in the campground that stayed for a little while, for more than one night.
So even though it's a journey and it's a quick stop, it's not designed to be the destination. Usually at the campgrounds we're at, whether KOA or not, people tend to stay a couple nights.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work to set up and take down, or usually there's something there people want to go do. But this, every single day, the park nearly emptied. And then
it filled back up.
Almost filled back up, and then nearly emptied. Yep, every single night. So that was just a little strange.
Yeah,
it was a nice place. They have a pool and stuff. Wasn't open at the moment, but
and a nice dog park. They were redoing their dog park when we got there, but it was finished by like a couple days ago, so the dogs have gotten to play in it a little bit.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle of our stay, they had the fence up and finished it, and even put sod down in the middle.
But they were adding some cement to the sides, so not in the dog park and not on the pathway to the dog park, but it was just off the pathway. And today Zoe put her paws in the wet cement right there.
So the guy was actually there working, and now that I'm thinking about it, that was really good. I asked him if the dog park was open. He's like, yeah, come on in. And we did, and she stepped off of the little walkway, and 2 massive puppy prints, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, that's okay. He was really nice about it. But it's good that he was actually there,
so that you didn't have
to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
Instead of it's still setting up, and then paw prints would have been super cute at the dog park, but if we were going to do that, we needed to make them look a little nicer. I don't know what she thought.
Okay, so the deal with the pastries is because this was a journey.
No, they just offered pastries, not because it was a KOA.
Didn't finish. I didn't.
Don't mislead the people.
You don't let me finish. There's a reason, Belle.
Okay, go.
But I think they do it because so that you don't really have to eat anything. You just pack up, you grab something, and you go.
Oh yeah, it's like a mini continental breakfast is what it was. They had coffee and hot cocoa, and then they had pre-packaged hostess
Pop-tarts,
sort of
little Danishes and stuff like that.
It's really good muffins.
We weren't sure what pastries were going to mean. So, and that they were all prepackaged. There goes another third tow. In this situation, all the towed cars, the ones actually being towed, have obviously been in wrecks.
Yeah.
So they're, but it's a lot of them.
This scenery's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got back into like a mountain. So maybe we'll say goodbye and take some pictures of this because we've driven through city, a very, very large city.
And then flat.
And then like ignoring nothing, and now we're back to mountains. So
Goodbye.
have a good day.